this slice of hoof, which I've taken, it's a horizontal slice. You can see the width of it. It's probably just about probably 1.25 cm in width. So this is the back of the foot. You can see where the hair is there, where the bulbs were. This is the front of the foot here. And the position that I've actually done my slice is I've taken it right the way through the center of the navicular bone. So that's what we're looking at there. That's the navicular bone at that position there. And just behind it is the deep digital flexor tendon. So we know that all this part of the foot, the back of the foot, is going to be the part which can be moved and is flexible and elastic. And the front of the foot, which is this part here, where we have this coffin bone sitting there, holding it all together in the front, is going to have less flexibility. So let's have a little look and see just how much flexibility we have at this level. Now remember, we're quite high up now in the foot, so we're not at the ground level. And my first thoughts were, well, are we still going to have a similar flexibility as I saw in another slice that I did, a little bit lower? And I think I'm quite surprised actually just how flexible this is. So if it's flat, when it lands, it's going to be flat. But if one side is up a little bit on uneven ground, you're going to get a little bit of this going on, or this. And apparently that movement is very important as well to the horse. So if you remember, I've done a few videos showing slices where they are moving quite significantly when they're in a slice, and they can be pulled apart and they can be moved, and they're malleable and they're elastic. Looking at the plasticity of a horse's foot when we look at a slice, and I'm looking at this and I'm seeing something very similar. Now this is a pad which was produced by a gentleman in America, and he's called Doc Foals, and he's produced this pad which goes in between the shoe and the foot. And I just wanted to run a video on it to show you the concept and see what you thought about it. And also Doc Foals is one of my sponsors for this month. Now he hasn't asked me to do this video. This is something I'm doing off my own back. So I'm not saying that I endorse this product, but I feel very interested in it. So let's have a quick look at this, because I think it's actually quite a good concept, and probably going to, well, I hope going to change a few things in our horses' hoof care. So basically it is a black flexible pad made out of, it feels like rubbery plastic material. And well, I mean, I think this speaks for itself really, doesn't it? The fact that it can be bent and it's going back to shape. I think this is actually quite a good concept. So the point is that it goes on in between the hoof and the shoe. So the shoe is going to be going on like this, and these two branches on the back will get sawn off, and so the shoe will sit just in front of these pads here, which is where the heels are going to sit. And the point of it is to allow this elastic material in between the shoe and the hoof to absorb concussion from the heel area, and we know that that's a very important area in our horse's feet. It also gives some protection to the frog because we have this piece here, and best of all, we do have some movement. Now I don't know how much movement we're going to get once the shoe is put on in between, and this is sandwiched in between, but the reviews on the website seem to be pretty good. So this idea was born by Doc Foals because he's involved in the standard bred industry, and he found that the standard bred horses, the trotters, were getting really sore heels because of the concussion. So he developed this really for himself to try and stop the concussion injuries on these trotters. And he found it to be pretty successful for his own trotters and in the training industry. And so he's applied for a patent, which is just going through now and being approved, and now he's ready to start sending this out all over the world. I'm quite interested in this. I must admit, I can't help but feel quite excited about it, and I'd like to know what you think about it. I'd be very interested to hear. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time.